So I'm gonna make one last recording today before I leave, because this is a really nice day out and you can see a lot of samples just walking around. But the one thing is the history behind this, because as I mentioned, we're going to be going back about thousands of years, that at least 2,000, if not, I'm thinking 3, 4 to 7,000 years at least, right? Because these mountains are old. They're weathered, they're old, but inside them there's stuff that can hold it, right? And down below, if some of the other recordings from archaeologists and just fabled treasures and just stories of cultures and everything, that there's these catacombs just like over in Europe and Asia and everything, that there's right below my feet here, all these different catacombs and everything with a mine. This one was formed from like a impact, and if you look at my recordings that span about the last 3 years, when I first started coming across it, that it was all a seabed over here at one point. And when it was a seabed, those 7 cities of gold revolved around this whole circle that I'm just turning around with right now. And you can see some in the distance, and actually over the mountains here, that there's these ancient ruins that somebody was just talking with me today about it when I was talking in town. The town is just about a good hour that way behind me here. But all around here, these cities, this was a seabed. So first you're going to have all this stuff buried in the sand from the ships that came back and forth. You know, that's going to be pretty deep, right? But somebody was saying to me Viking mounds, and as I'm walking the property here, and I don't know if you can see it in the recordings that I'll pan in and out, because where I'm standing right now, I can see them clear as day, that there's these Viking mounds that somebody was telling me about, and these different humps that I'm seeing here, that maybe just like rabbit holes or you know, weatherization, different cactuses that had come and gone throughout. But somebody is saying about Viking mountains. Look for that. Some of the other evidence I've found, though, I've definitely found Phoenician. I found stuff that talks about pirate treasures, mermen, mermaids, giants, but that may have been brought into the area from the Apache treasure when all the tribes had gotten together, the legends and stuff that talk about that. But underneath my feet here could be not just the stuff buried from the ships, but the mermen and the mermaids that met at the coastlines to process materials for the nation that they were a part of. That those caverns, that those mines, that I found blue eyes quartz, aquamarine type of rock and everything. I was showing some geologists, a top national geologist came out here and was pretty much standing where I'm standing right now, or just where I walked away from, that we were standing right over one of these mine shafts right there, and it just needs a lot of work, is the way it was explained to me. And I was so appreciative that it came out there. That was awesome, that him and his friend Dr. Love. But this field is so huge. There's a corral all the way up the road here. I mentioned that a bunch of times, that this place is old, that it was used multiple times, that you know, not just cattle and stuff, but you know, I guess the vault and everything, where it was looked over on the mountaintops, the imposter trails and protected and everything, that could you just imagine at least 2, 3, 4,000 years worth of stuff that came. I mean, it's been empty here for 200-300 years at the most. That's not nothing compared to 4,000 or 5,000 years. What's down below here? This is going to be awesome.